welcome. Good afternoon, or late morning, wherever you might be joining us from. My name is Josh Felperin. On behalf of everybody here at Alps Controls, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here with us today. Today we've got Eric Dunn, who's our Enterprise Account Manager, and Diana Gordon, who will be presenting on how to make your lives a little bit easier when it comes to configuring ONICON products. But before we get too far into the presentation, just want to remind you, if you have any questions that come up while we're presenting, there's a Q&A box at the bottom part of your screen. Please put the questions in there. We'll make sure to get to them at the end of the presentation. So let me go ahead and share. So for those that are familiar and may not be as familiar with Alps Controls, we've been around for over 25 years. And the cool fact is that a lot of folks aren't aware of when we share this is the owner, our original owner, Dave Myers, was a building controls contractor. So everything that our marketplace has become has been evolved in that way to make your lives easier. Of course, we have a lot of products, a lot of manufacturers on our marketplace, but there's a lot of tools which we're going to share with you today. The configuration tool for ONICON, and it's one tool out of many tools that are on our site, but we'll focus on that today. As far as products go, we have over 200 million products on our marketplace. Up to 1 billion configurable products. It's wild to be able to say that, but there's not too many distributors in our industry or any industry that have that breadth of product right at your fingertips. And again, 175 different manufacturers, and dozens of different categories, from valves and actuators to VFDs, flow meters we'll talk about today, sensors. And the one thing also we want to make sure we share with you is we're always looking for new products and solutions to expand our catalog to help you have a one-stop shop for all of your project needs. So, and why customers buy from Alps Controls? Again, you could say the products, the pricing, the support. One on the beginning slide, the simple. If something's easy, you can go on our website and go to our marketplace and select it yourself. But we do have expertise in-house, and there are a lot of products that are in our portfolio that are on your projects that you need some expertise and you need some help, and we'll share some of that expertise today. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to Eric Dunn, again, our Enterprise Account Manager, to share a little bit more specifically on ONICON.
Thank you, Josh. And Mr. Friends, thank you very much for attending today and sitting through our ONICON configurator presentation. Alps Controls is a solution provider. Parts, selection, service, they're all combined to make your life a little easier. And what we're highlighting today is one of those solutions that came about to solve a problem. ONICON is a complex product. It's an engineered product built to order. And at the time before the configurator came onto our site, this spreadsheet is probably familiar to any of you who've used ONICON and estimated it. You could actually work through this worksheet. You could send it in and ONICON would quote it, but it became as ONICON's business picked up, it became difficult to get a price fast. For salespeople out there doing estimates, you didn't know all the details. You had to know all the details when you sent the spreadsheet in, and the lead time getting a price and getting an order together, there's a lot of back and forth. And what we were able to do is eliminate that with a configurator. So this spreadsheet that still exists today, a little cumbersome to use. It allowed for incorrect configurations too. You could actually configure something in there that didn't exist, send it in, and they would kick it back. And that's how you ended up with a lot of back and forth. It didn't itemize the options cost for you either. So what we did is we solved that problem here with the configurator. So what we're looking at here is just a snapshot that Diana will work through in a minute. But when you see the pound signs and any part number on the Alps site, that means it's configurable. And what we're doing there, instead of listing every single iteration of a product on a website, I think we've all been to websites before where there's 50 different items, and you're looking through every single one to see which one has the particular characteristics you need. We eliminated that. So we put the base model number, FT3400, out there, and now you work through the configuration and you pick the options you want. Easy to use, you get real-time pricing. Now, the salespeople love this because they can work through and get an estimate very quick. Okay, get the proposal out the door. When it comes time to execute it, you come back and you fill in all the details. Okay, correct configurations. It does itemize the options for you. So it's minutes to price and order an ONICON flow meter. And that's the name of the game here, is providing you the solutions that minimize your time involved in selecting and ordering parts you need for your projects. Okay. Now, with that said, one thing I want to highlight is service. And we'll talk about this in the Q&A, but we are in no way trying to steal business from the local reps. ONICON, the local rep community, and Alps Controls are working together to minimize the time involved in pricing and ordering their meters. Okay, the local reps actually get a commission when you're ordering through Alps Controls. They're there for post-sale support. So you're not losing support from the ONICON rep in the field. He's getting his commission, okay, for post-sale support. Now, as we work through this, don't be misled to think this is do-it-yourself only. You have to go to the site. You have to do it all yourself, because there's a team here at our office that will help you out. Okay, you can go through, estimate yourself, order it yourself online, and process the order, or you can have our team do that for you. They'll help you select it. They'll help you order it. They'll help you price it up. That team's here to do that at no additional cost at all. And Diana Gordon is going to highlight how that works as a configurator, but she's one of the people instrumental in our office in doing that work for you. So Diana, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you run through the configuration.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day thus far. As Eric so politely stated, I will be taking you through a demo. All right, everyone. So this is our homepage. I am on a demo account, so please keep in mind that any pricing you do see will not necessarily be your pricing. So there are a number of different ways that you can find whatever it is that you're looking for. You can go to manufacturers and select ONICON. You can also try to type and search for what you need. It's typically a little bit better if you go through our manufacturers page. We do have them all listed here. However, I will be going to ONICON. Now, as you can see, we do have everything separated into a bunch of different categories. You have your BTU meters by themselves, electromagnetic flow meters, inline, insertion flow meter installation kits, insertion flow meters, transmitters, and ultrasonic. We will be focusing on electromagnetic flow meters for today. Now, as you can see, there are only 3 options here, and this kind of helps you figure out what it is exactly that you need to select. So the 3400 does not come with a display, and it is only a flow meter. Now the 3500 can come in 2 different ways, and that's what this little suffix here, or this little number here, is for. The 1 indicates that it will only measure flow, and the 2 indicates that it will do 2 different things: measure flow and measure energy. So let's go ahead and open that FT3400 that Eric showed you all earlier. And as you can see as well, it tells you all of the most pertinent details right here at the beginning. It tells you what kind of meter it is, what kind of pulse and alarm, whether it is bidirectional, what sizes. So we're going to go ahead and click configure. Now, when you do get onto any of our product pages, you do have a list of documents off to the side. We have our catalog sheet, guide specifications, user manuals, utility software manuals, the submittal, and a hardware selection guide. Now, what's fantastic about this is that all of your options are selectable. They will tell you if it is, if there's something that you need to know about it. For example, the frequency pulse in this selection is for bidirectional applications only. And as Eric stated, it does list the pricing for you if you were to select it. And it is a live change. So for example, if I were to click on this right now and go down, it will change the price. And as I mentioned earlier, this is just a demo, so these prices are not correct. But if I were to take that off, the price has gone back down. So this is a live configurator. Any decision you make will automatically change it for you. You'll be able to see the part number changing as well as you're going. So you would select your output, whichever it is that you need. And then you just go down the list. Your enclosure, what you need, NEMA 4 with 10 PVC cable or a NEMA 4 with 25 feet of cable. The typical is 10 feet. However, if anything else is needed, please let us know. The pipe range sizes. Now, this relies heavily on your stem. And the stem is important in the sense that your sensor needs to be put in the right optimal location for the flow to be read. So we do need to know what kind of pipe thickness and material you're going to have. So that's what this is for your pipe sizes. And as I said, if I do change it, it will change live right here. So any selection that I make will change. Our wetted materials. Now, here's something that I've noticed most people don't always pay attention to. This will depend heavily on your application. You will always use one if your application is chilled water, whereas if you're doing heating hot water, you will want to select, higher temperature. And if you have domestic or potable water, you need to select the 316 stainless steel. Most applications are one. Now the stack height. We do need to know the stack height if you have an installation kit already. The stack height is so that we know whether the installation kit is going to fit wherever it is that you're putting it. And again, to ensure that the sensor is in the optimal location in the pipe to read and measure the flow. If you don't have it, I do have a documentation that assists you with that. So please, if you need any of that, please let us know. We can definitely get that for you. Now, other meters will have a drop down for pipe size. However, this pipe size is an enterable location. So for example, I could put an 8-inch or I could put 8 in. It's up to you. Just we do need to have that information there. So whatever the pipe size is, and as you can see, it will change. Now, your application is where you really want to pay a lot of attention. We do have a couple of options here. We have hot water, makeup water, condenser water, boiler feed. So we always need to know exactly what it is that you are wanting to use this for. And the reason we need to know is because we also have the liquid type, ethylene glycol and polypropylene glycol. We do need to know the percentages if there are any in the application, simply because this will affect how the water flows and it will affect your readings. The operating temperature is very much like the wetted materials, standard for chilled water applications, 250 for heating hot water applications, although occasionally you may need to go up to 280, which is why we ask all these questions. The typical and max flow rates, you can put in ONICON Select if you're not sure. However, it is better if you are able to provide that information to ensure that we calibrate this to the closest degree possible. Same for the analog output range, you can put ONICON Select. Your analog output can change based on your needs. This one is the default, the 2 to 10 VDC. But again, depending on your needs, you can change that. Scale factor, if you need this, but most people I have seen do not. ONICON will require the job name and location for whatever application that you are attempting to do, simply because occasionally they may get in touch with the local rep or they may get in touch with the engineer to ensure that they have all of the application specs and ensure that this is configured correctly. Tagging, fortunately, is not an additional cost. So if you do need tags, let us know and we can definitely get them added. Now, what's beautiful about going through our website to order this is that I can't add this to a quote, but it is a very similar process. So let's say we're done, configuring here. So let's do this correctly so that we have that. And if it were 8 inches, we would pick C3 or D4 that has the ranges of the pipe size right here. So we'll go ahead and configure that. And we're going to go ahead and add it to a test project. And you don't need to add phases as quotes. This is just because it is in a demo and will not let me add it to a quote. However, once it does go through, this is the beauty of our website. Once you have added your selected meter, it will take you to a page that shows you your related products. So for example, since we selected an FT3400, which only measures flow, it gives you the option here to add BTU meters, a system 10 or a system 20. However, you could get this result with an FT3500. So if you did need these, I might try to steer you in a different direction. But it also gives you the installation kits that you will need that may be applicable for your meter. You have your standard flow meter installation kits, and it all depends on your pipe material and schedule. And if you keep going, it also has your hot tap installation kits. It is all determined by, as I said, your pipe material and your pipe schedule. And as you keep going, you will see that if you did need temperature sensors, if you were getting that FT3500, they do show that as well, installation hardware for temperature sensors. So if I did need anything from here, I would just select it. So we'll go ahead and add an installation kit. This is a dry tap kit, which would mean that the system is not running, it is not operational, the pipe is dry. So I would hit configure, type in my pipe size, which I know I was giving it at 8 inches. And then you add it to, oops, well, I'm not sure. Oh, here it is. You add it to your quote, or in this case, a test project. And you can view it, and you'll have everything you need right here. So you'll have, the information of what you're ordering. And 1 second. You'll have your product description. If you need to change anything, you have the edit button here, which will take you straight to the page and allow you to make any changes that you need. You also have your installation kit here, which you can change the quantities while you're in the page, and it will automatically update to reflect whatever it is you need. You can also add parts by typing it in right here into your quote. So it's really up to you. It's a very versatile website, and it's a very versatile tool. So with that, I believe that should be the end of my demo and demonstration. I will kick it back to Eric and Josh.
Thank you, Diana. That was great. Alan, do you want to start the Q&A portion? Don't run away too far, Diana. We're probably going to need your help on some of these questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we do have a bunch of questions waiting for us in the queue. Let's see. One comes in from Cal Clendenin. He wants to know, do ONICON flow meters have BACnet IP Ethernet connection? Are they able to be daisy chained, Ethernet ring configuration, or are they home run Ethernet connected?
Diana, do you want to take that, or do you want me to?
You can. That'd be fine.
Yeah, I know ONICON so the short answer is yes. For BACnet IP, they do have BACnet IP and MSTP options, but I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, you cannot daisy chain the IP. You would need a different interface module, and for BACnet MSTP, you can daisy chain it. Does that sound about right, Diana? I don't know if you've ever been asked that question before.
I have not, but that does sound correct. Yes, sir.
As I looked that up while we were in the meeting, and the FT3400, FT3500 have BACnet IP and BACnet MSTP available.
Yeah.
The system 10 and 20 displays have BACnet IP and BACnet MSTP. The system 40 is BACnet MSTP only.
Yeah, so it'll depend on the model.
And they are home run Ethernet connections, Kale. There's no ring configuration on that yet.
Yeah. Thank you, Kale. That was a good question.
Okay, we have one watcher who wants to know, are all the ONICON flow meters available in the configurator tool?
So that I will go ahead and answer. They are not. There are a few that ONICON has to have the configuration that Eric showed earlier in their spreadsheet sent to them directly. Those are namely the inline FT3000 line and any of the steam or vortex meters. Reason being that they require a lot of careful configuration. They want to make sure that you get everything done correctly. There's usually a lot of back and forth questions with the engineer and stuff like that. So the ones that are not available on our website would be the FT3100, the FT3200, the F26 and 2700, and the F1500. All of those we would need to go through ONICON. Everything else, however, is on our website.
That makes sense. Steam application, big liability, so get
Mm-hmm.
it correctly.
Can we send in the ONICON specs for the Alps Controls staff to select for us? I guess that's for you, Diana.
Absolutely, you can. As long as I've got the preference in meter technology, inliner insertion, electromagnetic versus turbine, whatever it is that you're looking for. I need the application. I might have a couple questions for you if I don't have all the information I need, but absolutely you can.
Okay, this seems like a related question too. Previously, you mentioned a team that can help with the flow meter selection. Are they able to make selections via plans and specs? And if so, what email do you use to get in contact with them?
So the email would be va-advantage at alpscontrols.com. You will reach our talented VA Advantage team who will be able to look through it. Now, we can go off of plans and drawings. However, we would prefer having specs available just to ensure that you're getting exactly what it is that you need. I would hate to make an assumption and tell you something, and then you get to your site and realize, whoops, we made a mistake. So the answer is yes. However, we will likely have follow-up questions for you.
Okay, we have one person who wants to know, where do I go for support on the ONICON meters after I've bought them?
Yeah. So like Eric mentioned while during his presentation, the rep network that Onicon has throughout the country, they are there to help with pre and post support. So you could always reach out to us if you purchase through us, and we could help coordinate on the post support if needed, and or just reach out to the local rep if you're used to working with them in the territory that you might cover. So easiest path, reach out to us directly and we can help with the post support.
How do your prices compare to buying from our local ONICON rep?
Eric, do you want to take that one?
Sure. What I found is the local reps, they have a lot of leeway in how they price out ONICON. For us, it's a fixed cost, and we have a fixed margin, and that's what we provide to the marketplace. The local reps seem to vary their margin and based on the marketplaces. So in some markets, we're on par with them. Sometimes we're higher, and it's very seldom that we're lower. This isn't a price game for us. This is a ease of use. So when you look at the total cost of acquiring an ONICON flow meter, if you look at your time involved, and if you get a lot of time involved working with a local rep, your total cost is going to be expanded there. If you can use Alps Controls and do it quickly and easily, although the initial cost is higher, your total cost of acquiring that part is less. So we look at that total cost of ownership a lot of times on projects. This is a total cost of acquiring that part. Although we may be a little higher, we sell a lot of parts to a lot of people, and we're not the cheapest game in town because of ease of use, and we're compressing that timeline from the time you price it and order it and get it delivered.
Okay, we have one person who wants to know, I noticed you are recording this presentation. Can you make this video available for download? And hey, I'll answer that one. Sure. Basically, what we're going to do is once this event is over, we are recording it and we put it on the Alps Controls YouTube channel. And so all of our sales reps and Eric and Josh will be able to reach out to anybody who's interested to share the video with them, and you can watch it over and over to your heart's content. Get our numbers up for me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Right now, we have one more question in the queue. It says, what is the best way to select the install kit we need? Which I think, Diana, you talked a little bit about that, but maybe some more detail is warranted.
So there is actually an installation kit hardware selection guide on our website. You can click on pretty much any of our installation kits and they will have that guide there available for you. And it actually breaks down everything from a hot tap installation kit to a dry tap installation kit. And it also breaks it down per part number type. It has hyperlinks as their table of contents, which makes it very easy to navigate. But beyond that, that is the easiest way, is just to determine your pipe schedule, your pipe material, and the size that you need, as well as whether the pipe is going to have fluid in it or not. If it does, you need a hot tap so that you don't have to shut down the system. If it doesn't, you can get a dry tap, which is usable regardless. So I hope that answers the question.
Okay, looks like that's all the questions we have submitted right now. But certainly I'd let everybody know that if you get a question right after we stop this event, reach out to Eric or Diana or Josh from our website. You can find them on the Contact Us page, linkable anywhere on our site. Reach out directly to them with further questions if you like.
And just so that everyone is aware, we will be raffling some JBL speakers. They are branded for ONICON. 3 individuals will be receiving this. So Eric will let you know if you've won.
Love it.
Yes, in closing, I'd like to offer to the attendees, if you want to take a deeper dive on ONICON or any flowmeter technology here, engage with me and my team, and we can do this one-on-one with your team via Teams, or we can come on site and walk through with you as well, so you have the advantage of having your whole team on board with this. Okay? Well, thank you very much for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you.